All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Andy John, the creator, and I am here doing a live stream. This is going to be my first live stream that I'm connected. Hopefully, it's working, and we'll see what happens. But I am connected to this bad boy right now, and we will see if it works. Hopefully, it does. Hopefully, I can get somebody to let me know if it is working somehow. I don't even know how to do that. But what I'm going to do is I wanted to show you all something really pretty cool. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about Jim Carrey because Jim Carrey is often in the media portraying himself as this hero, this man that's here to give us information and to let us know that he's on our side, right? But I have a hard time with that notion because he is a superstar. And in order to be a superstar, you have to pay homage to your leader. And he does it often, very often, in his clothes, in his language, the way he speaks, in his body language, everything. I mean, really, it's interesting. And his whole movie career is interesting. And we're going to talk about that too down the road. But I wanted to open this with just this Jim Carrey clip and just take a peek right here. And also, let's watch. So, this is a few minutes. Let's watch from the beginning here. And let's even look at his shirt. Check it, everything. Look at everything. And then we'll see what we see. Interesting shirt. Is always telling you something. Always. That shirt. There it is. There's the hand signal. And, Jimmy Kimmel's going to act surprised like this wasn't rehearsed and they didn't talk about exactly this before the show. And they know exactly what's going on. This is all scripted. And if you don't think it's scripted, then you need to rethink what's going on because it's clearly scripted. They don't. These people are not your friends, okay? They're not. So let's continue. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, you're so cool, Jim. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what.
Okay, so he doesn't know what it is, right? But a good percentage of the audience knows what it is. Maybe not the knuckleheads that are cheering for him right now, but a good percentage of the people watching on TV know what that is. So that's a blatant lie. So what we're gonna do is just start picking apart lies and weird things because they lie nonstop to try and act like they're part of the people. Like, oh yeah, we're not part of any of that. We're the people. We're with you guys, right? Nah, I don't think so. None of these people are with us, and they mock us constantly, all the time with the mockery. The joke's always on us. That's the thing. They tell these jokes, and then most of us laugh at them. But what we don't understand is that the joke is on us, right? So, another thing about Jim, if you pay attention to what Jim wears, he's very telling. All right, I just saw a photo, and we'll look at it later, but a photo from a New Year's party with him and I believe Joe Rogan and all the other clowns are in it. And a lot of them are wearing dog shirts, Disney shirts, alien type of paraphernalia, and it's telling because, you know, for one thing, if I have to explain Disney to anyone at this point, then I think you're still a little bit lost in the hypnosis. But for the people that don't know the importance of the dogs, it's because these people, they worship the dog star, they worship Saturn, they worship the devil. It's all evil. Okay, Saturn is evil. You know, it's that's what they worship, and it's all real, and they do it. And they do it in everything that they do. When you start to understand the symbolism, you'll start to see it, and it gets to the point where you can't even watch movies with these people in it anymore because it's everywhere. They rub it in your face. It's an insult to your intelligence once you know. The problem is we don't know what to look for because we were taught lies and nothing in school. We were taught about dinosaurs and about Greek gods and goddesses when I was a kid. Turns out those are demons, and yeah, dinosaurs, they weren't even real in the first place. That's ridiculous. If anything, there were giants over dinosaurs, facts. And there are plenty of bones to prove it too. The problem with that is when you find dinosaur bones in your backyard and you call really anyone, some men will show up to your house or your property in a, you know, in a suburban with suits on, and you'll never see that set of bones again. All right, they get rid of them. They do not want anything that can corroborate the Bible, and that's just the truth. Now, let's continue here with Jim and what he has to say, right? But just bear in mind, remember that shirt he's wearing there? They're always trying to tell you something, especially Jim. Now, Jim, interesting with Jim, because if you remember too, Jim's first movie was one of his first. I'm sorry, not his first, but one of his earlier movies was Batman. Who did he play? The Riddler. Who is he often used as pushing propaganda? A Riddler, in my opinion, because he's always giving you little pieces of the truth. But the problem is, without the rest of the truth, that puzzle's never going to come together, and he's never going to give you all of it.
What this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies.
Yeah, sure you are.
It's the secret symbol of the illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it. It needs a scraping.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you do.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they just...
Let's stop. He's not lying. He's actually telling you the truth. Okay, this all happens. They do get together out in the woods, go run around naked and worship satanic things such as giant owl structures, and they do all sorts of ritualistic, satanic, Freemasonry, creepy crap, right? They do it. They do it every year, every summer at the Grove, all right? And they all get together, all these famous people, politicians, presidents, all these people that are elite members of society. I believe that's the Skull and Bones that run that one, the Skull and Bones Club, which is an elite club, an Illuminati type Freemasonry club. And they go out there and they do all sorts of creepy stuff. How do we know about this? Because Alex Jones, back in the 90s, I believe, maybe the 80s, but probably the 90s, Alex Jones broke in to the Grove, and he filmed it. Now, you can think what you want about Alex Jones. He gives a lot of good information, personally, and I'm a straight shooter. I don't know who I trust. I don't really trust anyone anymore at this point because I know there are certain people that know certain things that don't say it. They withhold information. They're gatekeepers, so I don't trust them. And at certain levels of elitism, you know what's going on. So the people that aren't saying things, they know what's going on. And if you are that person, to me, you are a coward and a liar. But it is what it is, right? That's why I'm running this channel. That's why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. That's why I just teamed up with an amazing guy I met who's ex-military, very knowledgeable, super excited. His name's Raven. I can't wait to get him on again. I think he's busy right now, but this is my first stream here on YouTube doing this. So, thank you for, just being there and all that fun stuff. And again, I apologize if the quality is not great. I'm trying to do my best and figure it out. I did get a decent camera going, and I got the mic set up and all of that. So I'm trying to make it decent for the viewers. So let's keep going with this video.
Side these things, and and look at him trying to count it out. It's hilarious. And I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
We already are.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
Oh, he's honest, isn't he? We already are slaves to consumerism. And I mean, look around. We consume. That's what we do. We don't even consume good stuff anymore. We don't make good stuff anymore. We consume crap. And the stuff that they give us is crap. It's junk. They poison us and they sell us shit. But that is the world that we live in. Once you start to unlock some levels to this world, you'll realize that all that stuff is fake. It's an illusion. That's why it's crap in the first place. Because it's crap. It's fake. It's all fake. You're going to start seeing through the fake world and into the real world that we live in. They have literally hypnotized us to believe we live on a different planet. We don't even know the history of our own planet because we've been lied about it. We've been lied to. Let's just keep watching the rest of this, and then I want to go to another video of Jim that I find really interesting.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people really enjoyed Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
All right, let's check out this clip, right? This is Jim back in the day. This clip is another telling clip. Let's see if we can guess what he says.
And they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
So, isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? They just tell you constantly to your face. Jim is always telling us things. He's always telling us, right? He's such a hero, right? I don't think so. I think that's his job. When you start digging into how it all works, right? The magic of hypnosis, okay? How these people are putting you to sleep. When you start to realize how it works, there's no other word to describe it or explain it other than magic. Because they basically cast spells on people using old, ancient alchemy, ancient methods of magic, and they use it. They use it through politicians. They use it through actors. They use it through movie stars and singers. They do it all the time. They cast spells at certain times a year, during certain moon cycles, during certain lunar cycles. They do all lunar eclipses and sun eclipses. They do all sorts of creepy stuff. They're constantly doing rituals, and these celebrities also get sacrificed. It happens all the time. Matthew Perry recently got sacrificed, I believe, and many people believe, many conspiracy theorists, if you want to call it a conspiracy. But I'll call it a conspiracy for the sake of YouTube, right? It's a conspiracy. Is it? Because these people always die on weird nights, weird symbolism. That show Friends had a lot of weird symbolism in it too, but that's another episode for another day. But let's just talk about Jim Carrey, right? So, Jim Carrey is a Canadian American actor. He's known for his energetic slapstick performances. After spending the 80s honing his stand-up and portraying mostly supporting roles in films, Jim Carrey gained wide recognition in 1990 when he was cast in the American sketch comedy In Living Color. That was 90 to 94. And then he broke out with Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, the big three. Now, the thing about Jim is, in his later life, now he's telling us that he's a Christian and he's rah rah shish kumbah for Jesus, right? But he's a liar, and he's not pro-Jesus. He just isn't. He's a liar, and I believe he's a Satan worshiper like the rest of the occult creeps in Hollywood. And, I mean, it can be proven 7 million ways, but the one thing I will say about him is Jim Carrey, back in his earlier days, he always talked about, and he still talks about, how he manifested his career. He talks about how he would write on paper, and it's similar to the 369 method, where you write 3 things down in the morning, 3 down in the afternoon, 3 down at night of what you want, and they will manifest. Now, do these things work? I hate to tell my audience they do, because I don't want anyone going out and doing this. But does it work? I'm also not a liar, and I'm here to be truthful with an audience. So I'm going to tell you straight up, it works. 369 methods, manifestation works. And that should prove to you something. That should prove to you that this plane of existence that we live on is not what you think. And if you can manifest things, that means we live in a magical place. All right? Wrap your head around that. Now, the problem with manifestation is evil, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people are going to argue with me about this because they do it, or they like it, or they want to do it, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they're trying to suck you into their negative vortex. Okay? The reason why manifestation is, to me, demonic is because what are people manifesting for? You're never manifesting for a healthy mother-in-law, you know? You're never manifesting for somebody else's health or somebody else's for anyone else. It's always for you. The point I'm trying to make. It's always, you're trying to manifest something for you. You're trying to manifest money. You're trying to manifest a woman or a man. You're trying to manifest a better life for yourself, a bigger house, a bigger boat, more toys. That in itself is not godly. That's not what God wants. That's material crap that means nothing. So just the action alone of manifestation is demonic in that sense, that why are you trying to do you? And listen, I'm not a hypocrite. I've done me my whole life. I did 37 years of me, and it got me in prison, got me in jail, it got me in rehab, it got me a life that I was severely depressed, wanted to kill myself, and hated everything. And despite all that, I still had got the beautiful, amazing, best woman in the world to fall in love with me. Somehow I managed to do that. And I was still depressed and hated my life. I had a job that I liked. Everything was going good in my life, and I was a miserable miserable. I hated it. I hated my life. And honestly, and I was so done with it because I've always felt like I was going crazy. Always. I've always felt like something is wrong, something is off. There are so many people out there that feel like something is wrong and something is off, and they don't know why. And they're told by their family or by other people, oh, maybe you're bipolar, maybe you're sick, maybe you're this and that. And listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and diagnose you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, a schizophrenic person, that he's not schizophrenic, that he's under a spell. I don't want to say that, because don't not take medication that your doctor gave you because some jackass on YouTube told you it's a bad idea. All right, me being the jackass. Don't do that, okay? What you need to do is figure it out yourself between you and a doctor that you trust and people and family that you trust. That's your thing. My thing might not be your thing. That's fine. What I am saying, though, is that I believe that we get lied to about every single thing, including that. So if you're the type of person that feels like there's something going on, something ain't right here, and you're trying to put things together and nothing makes sense ever. I always felt confused. Maybe that's because your senses are trying to tell you something. We have instincts built into us like animals because we are animals, and we have been taught to fight the instinct. We have been taught to go against the instinct and just totally ignore the instinct. Not only have we been taught to do that, we have also been poisoned by our water, our food, the chemicals and everything, the airplanes spraying chemicals and everything. And don't argue with me. This is not an arguable thing anymore. They're proving they come out and say that they do it to stop global warming. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a lie and it's bullshit. I've seen a study where they tested snow quality on the tops of these mountains that are in the middle of nowhere where no one is even close to living. And when they were testing the snow, they were finding insanely high levels of aluminum and two other metals that I can't remember, some of the weirder metals. But these three metals were in the snow, and the only conclusion that they could come up with was that it's because of the airplanes spraying and it all falls down. They are spraying us, poisoning us, trying to calcify our pineal gland, whatever gland you want to call it. I don't care. Okay, call it whatever you want. Pineal gland. They are trying to calcify it over and kill our actual instincts, what we have built into us to detect when a predator is nearby or when something just ain't right, when it's smelling a little fishy. They're wiping that away so we can't know, so that they can come in and blanket us with more slavery and more crypto nonsense, so that if we don't say something that they like, then they can just take away our money. Ooh, we don't like what you said there, Andy. Ooh, you want to go somewhere this weekend? Sorry, can't go. Sorry, can't use your car. Sorry, can't use the bus. Sorry, can't charge your car. Sorry, can't spend your money. Sorry. Think I'm kidding. Check out how people are living in China. Not a joke. But anyway, the manifestation is, in my opinion, again, it's just demonic because you're trying to manifest things that you don't need. God wants you to not need anything. He wants you to have faith in his plan, and his plan has nothing to do with what you want. Okay? That is the problem that I had my whole life. I was fighting the plan, right? When I was a kid, here's a backstory on me. I got horrible grades in school, horrible, because I didn't get anything. And not that I didn't understand it. I did. Like, I'm not a dummy. I understood it, but it made no sense. Like, they're telling me things that make no sense. Like, example, the sun is going over the round ball Earth. which is why we don't see it anymore. It sets, it goes around the Earth. If that is the case, then that would mean that the sun is equal distant from Earth that goes around the whole Earth. Why is it then that you can stare at the sun in the morning and at night and it doesn't burn your eyes? It has nothing to do with the sun being, stronger or less powerful. And it does. So it's confusing what I'm trying to say. The reason for it is because the sun is moving further away. It's a perspective thing. Picture this Earth is a giant track. When the sun is leaving your view, it's going out of view, so you can't see it. So it's further away. That's why you can sun gaze and it doesn't hurt your eyes. Because if it was just going around you in a circle, you wouldn't be able to stare at it. No matter what time of day, it would burn the hell out of your eyes. I mean, maybe that's just a shitty idea of mine, but that's kind of what I think about as far as that goes. But they just lie. They lie about everything. And you got to start to ask yourself why. So we talked about Jim Carrey being the Riddler, right? In Batman, and he was the Riddler, and I think Jim Carrey is an important player. Very, very, very important. I think Jim Carrey is more than an actor, in my opinion. I believe Jim Carrey is a magician, you might want to call him. And some of the other celebrities that are high up in the ranks, I also believe are magicians. And yes, you heard me correct. Magicians. They're hypnotists, they're magicians. They capture an audience, and when you're watching this hand, they're doing something with the other one. It's always a distraction play. They're magicians. And I believe that Jim Carrey is a powerful one. Probably very high up in the rank. And that's why so many of these Hollywood people have a lot of respect for him, because he's powerful. And by that, I mean, he's handed some serious tasks in his later days. Why do I think this? Just because of his past movie roles. Man on the Moon, right? When he was in Man on the Moon, he played Andy Kaufman. Did anyone see that movie? Let's take a look at this real quick. Ready? Man on the Moon, Jim Carrey. Watch this. So he played he played Tony Clifton and Andy Kaufman. He got so into this role that he got invited, I heard this story, to the Playboy Mansion. Jim Carrey got invited, but he was at the time playing Tony Clifton and Andy Kaufman. And he's a character actor, so he gets so involved in his role, he doesn't break out of it until the movie is over. So he'll stay in a role for as long as the movie's being shot, which could be months. Now, the reason why in this particular situation it was so crazy was because the character he was playing was Tony Clifton, who's a crazy person. And Tony Clifton was Andy Kaufman's alter ego. Now, Andy Kaufman, who was a comedian, back in the day, 30 some odd years ago, he was known just as a very bizarre, weird comedian. He was like ahead of his time in a way. People didn't understand him. He was just very bizarre. Now, Andy Kaufman played two people, and the interesting part about that was during his career, nobody knew. So he played this other guy, Tony Clifton, and no one knew it was him. So he would do crazy things. He would be scheduled to perform a show as Andy Kaufman, and he'd show up as Tony Clifton, and the audience would be really pissed off because they went to see Andy Kaufman, not Tony Clifton. They didn't realize it was actually him. So he was like a genius, like a mad genius, but just like a Borat before Borat, like a Tom Green before Tom Green. He was a mad genius. And people just didn't get him. But when Jim Carrey played his role, I mean, he literally nailed it. And this is another thing, too, with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, I believe, said he manifested these people in these roles. He manifested these people and becomes someone else. That is, I don't even know what you want to call that, but let's look at this. I'm going to show you first this one with Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman. And just, it's amazing, the character acting. I mean, he did a ridiculous job.
Hello, I am Jimmy Carter, the President of the United States. Thank you very much.
You can't help but like him either. All right, so now let's look, though, real quick, right? We're going to look at the real Andy Kaufman, just so you guys can see, because if you've never seen how good he does this, it's not how you spell it. I mean, he nails them. He nails them.
Our next performer was a guest on the Tonight.
And again, if you guys are watching, please hit that like button to help get me in the algorithm, because YouTube hates the truth. Also, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm doing it all. My Instagram, even though I'm banned, I've been doing really well. Thank you, God, for that, because I know you're looking out for me, because you're looking out for truth tellers, and I know that for a fact, because before, I was really stale. I was losing followers every day, not many, but a few. And because I'm banned, so non-followers do not see my feeds. But I don't know. I've been, I just had a real awakening with all the truth I learned, and I've been talking to the man upstairs out loud, and I had a lot of apologizing to do, but he's got my back, and I know it, because things are doing all right now, and there's no other reason for it. So I want to say thank you to my higher power. Thank you up there, and I love you. And all you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'm really excited about this, because this is the first night. It's a little unorganized. I really didn't know what I was going to even talk about, but I figured this would be a fun topic. So let's get back into it. But hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. What I'm going to try and do is take these videos down shortly after they go on YouTube and put them on my Rumble channel, because the Rumble channel will never be taken down. As far as I know, they're not going to mess with my videos. So if you don't see it on YouTube, go over to Rumble and check me out on Rumble. I will show you my page, because I forget even what it is here. Let's see my content, my channels. So we have Shattering the Matrix is the name of my channel. Shattering the Matrix. Let's see. And it looks like this, right? It's a brand new channel, Shattering the Matrix. Boom. All right, so that's that. So I hope you guys all join me over there. All right. And that'll be a beautiful thing. So let's go back to this and watch Andy Kaufman, the real Andy Kaufman. It's an old film.
Thank you very much. Right now, I'd like to do a comedy routine. Up to now, every time I've appeared someplace, I always do that foreign man character that I do, and I'd like to branch out more, just do myself. So, anyway, the baseball season is with us. Right in the middle of the baseball season. And this reminds me, last year, I was in New York in the baseball season, and I went to Shea Stadium one night. Speaking when I was going to do for you, but I don't think I should, so I just want to say thank you, and, it means you'd better watch out, because one day you will have to do this too.
Ready? Let's see. Hold on. See him on SNL.
The canon
Oh, here we go.
in the world to Spain. So it was two boys and one girl, and they carrying the cannon to the highest mountain in Spain. So the first boy, they on top of the mountain, and the first boy, he point the cannon to this castle. And so he said to the second boy, all right, hand me the cannonball. And so the second boy, he say, I thought you had them. So wait, listen. So they both turn to the girl, and she say, don't look at me. Stupid.
All right, there's him, right? Now watch this. I'll show you his, here we go. Andy Kaufman's Elvis. We'll look at this real quick, too. All right, so we have Andy Kaufman. That's Andy Kaufman. And Jim nailed it, man. Jim nailed it. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. But now we'll look at Jim Carrey. We'll look at Tony Clifton, right? Check this out. Tony Clifton was the other character that he played. And this is actually Andy Kaufman, okay? So Andy Kaufman played Tony Clifton. However, he did have a double as well. And they would play, the double would play Tony Clifton. He would also play Tony Clifton and himself. So they would sometimes have gigs at the same time. I mean, he did all sorts of weird stuff.
Is everyone having a good time so far? Yeah, we're all having a good time just sitting here on the old floor, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. And right now, I am
This is Andy Kaufman.
How you doing? All right. Nice to see everybody out here. Everybody feeling good? All right. You know, I just came back from the east. Let me tell you something. It was so cold there.
How cold was it?
Oh, we asked you. I didn't ask you. Can we start this again? I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you. Come on up here. Why don't you come up here?
All right, now watch this. Ready? Watch Jim Carrey. And I'm going somewhere with this, so hang tight. Jim Carrey as Tony Clifton. Now, this was in Man on the Moon, and he played both characters. This is Jim playing Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Entertainment, Tony Clifton!
I mean, he's a character actor, for sure. He plays people.
Chicken wings from Kentucky Fried. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-die. Stick a needle in your eye. Let's get something straight, people. I play a lot of the big showrooms in Vegas. I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face. Now let's go down and meet some of the audience. All right. Hey, how y'all doing? Where are you from? Yeah. Yeah. Whoa! Somebody's wearing a lot of perfume around here. Must be that time of the month. Huh? I know all the tricks. Now, how you doing? You having, you enjoying that pasta carbonara? It appears as if you are. Whoops, hey, look out. I think you sat in some cottage cheese. Oh, pardon me, that's your ass. Okay?
All right, so there he is, and that's just an example of how he is a great character actor, right? Great character actor. So he had these movies. He had Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask, right? Now, in my opinion, what happens with these actors and these elite members when they become invited into the club, these clubs, okay, this illuminati, as they call it, these clubs, they have initiation rituals. They have humiliation rituals. They do all sorts of creepy ceremonies. Now, I believe he's a powerful man in their world. And I believe that Dumb and Dumber may have been an initiation, an humiliation ritual. That is the movie he really got famous from. And in that movie, I mean, he just played a total dope. So, he was most known for just being this dope. And honestly, if you think about life, who wants to be this dope? Do you want to be this dope? Not really. And I think that may have been his humiliation ritual. Being that dope got him in the club, earned him the money, and set him on the trajectory to be doing the things he's doing today. Now, there are a lot of people out there that think maybe Jim Carrey may be playing somebody, playing a role, and not in a movie, in our everyday life. And it might be true. Before we get into that, though, quickly, I'm going to show you one more time of Jim Carrey, how he tells us the truth, but he's a bullshit artist, all right? In here he talks about Jesus, how he turned to Jesus. But I just don't believe that to be true, because he goes on to talk about raising chrism and activating your pineal gland, and he compares Jesus Christ to the 33 the 33 spine, the bones in your spine. And he really makes a comparison, basically saying that Jesus is in you, and he's kind of in that saying that Jesus isn't real, the Bible isn't real, it's all from within, and that's just BS. Um, Also, what he's not explaining to you is, he tells you to activate your pineal gland, you have to meditate and you have to abstain from, sex and all of that. What he's also not telling you, though, is you're never going to activate your pineal gland if you believe that NASA is sending men to the moon, or if NASA is sending rockets to Mars. That's a delusion. You can't activate a pineal gland if you're delusional, okay? In order to activate that gland, you have to be one with the universe. And you're never going to be one with the universe if you can't see through the most obvious of lies, okay? So that's another reason why I think he's a bullshitter, because he knows damn well what's going on, all right? He's higher enough in the club that he knows what's going on, okay? I said a joke recently that I think is funny, but it's what's the difference between Joe Rogan and Jim Carrey? And I think the difference is Jim Carrey knows who he sold his soul to, and Joe Rogan still hasn't figured it out yet. Either that or Joe Rogan, I mean, he's either a moron because he hasn't figured it out yet, or he's a liar and in on it. And both are optional and both sound good, but I would really rather say that he probably knows, for many reasons. One being he's had thousands of interviews with very intelligent people. He's spent a lot of time with intelligent people. He's been told things, I'm sure. The guy's worth so much money. I mean, my whole audience is never going to amount to what that guy's worth. And you don't get there without paying homage to certain people and entities. And he does it. He does it in the name of his new place. Joe Rogan's new comedy club. Let's take a look. Ready? Joe Rogan's comedy club. Let's look at who he pays homage to in his club. Ready? Let's take a peek. Let's see if we can see what I'm talking about here. His new comedy club. Oh, here we go. Is called The Mothership, right? The Mothership. And in the club, he has all sorts of alien paraphernalia and alien stuff, spaceships and all that stuff. Now, does he know that aliens are demons? Yeah, probably. But is he helping push the narrative that these aliens are coming from another place and they're probably peaceful and whatever? Yeah, he does. He pushes this ridiculous narrative that aliens are from another galaxy when he knows they're probably fallen angels and Nephilim or whatever you want to call them. But they're demons. They're not what they sell them to be. That's Hollywood selling you that aliens are from another galaxy. They're not, in my opinion. And it can really be proven by reading old text. Okay? Now, I don't know. I go back and forth on Jim being I go back and forth on Joe, whether he knows or not. I really don't know, because here's how it works, right? These celebrities are either initiated into this club and they know what's going on, okay? The higher, more powerful ones like him, like Taylor Swift, they know what's going on. Beyonce, Jay-Z, those ones, they know what's going on. Will Smith, they know what's going on, okay? They do humiliation rituals. That's probably why he slapped Chris Rock. That might have been what that was about. They're always doing sneaky things. Now, I don't know. With Joe, does he know? Does he not know? It's hard to say. But does Jim know? Yeah, Jim's a smart dude, and he knows just what's going on. Now, before we close this out, though, I want to show you where I was going with the character acting thing. And Jim, there's a conspiracy going around right now. Jim Carrey conspiracy. And let's see just what we're talking about. Ready? So there are a lot of people that think Jim Carrey might actually be playing Joe Biden. Let's look at it.
If you haven't seen this post I did about a week ago, go check it out. It is my first ever million-view post, but it felt incomplete. There was something missing to it, but I found it. Check it out. When I was syncing this up last week, when I was seeing the synchronicity of the salute and the hand on the railing, I was so happy, but it felt like there was something missing. I've seen so many of Jim Carrey's movies, but I felt like there was something more.
I'm free on the 7. That's 7.
And then I found it. My favorite
Wow.
Jim Carrey movie, Dumb and Dumber.
7. That's 7.
The synchronicity here, but it gets better.
Reach to the top.
Watch the hands here. The synchronicity, it's back. Look at that. It's even better in this next view.
The 7. That's 7.
Again, we get the hand salute and the hand railing. It's not unintentional.
Reach to the top.
Watch this. Look at this. It's mirror imaged of each other. To the foot
Wow.
stepping up. Guys, it's predictive programming. This is legit. If you can't wrap your head around it, it just means you don't know how the world really works. That's Jim Carrey. I'd bet my house on it. I win. Light bulb.
What the? That's it. That's it. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man. Oh my God. Einhorn is a man.
Guys, if you haven't seen this post I did about it.
Shout out to the fittest flat earther. This dude's got a lot of great content. But I wanted to wrap up this first episode with that to give you a good look. And I think that he may be onto something, and Jim probably is playing that. That's why you don't really see Jim in too many movies right now. But it doesn't mean he's not busy. And he has paid his dues. He's done all the movies. He's been humiliated. He's in it. And, you know, there are plenty of pictures of Jim throwing up Illuminati signals. There are plenty of pictures of Jim wearing Illuminati colors, doing the Illuminati poses. And, you know, it's just all over the place. But that is Jim. That's what I think of Jim. I think Jim is a magician, a hypnotist, a wizard, call him what you want, but he's not your friend. He's not on our side. I'm Andy John, the creator, and I try and find the truth. I stick to the truth because the truth is the only thing that's going to save us all, right? God is true, and he is the ultimate creator. Thank you, God, for putting me here. Thank you for putting me on my path. I love you. Thank you for everything. I'd be nothing without you, and thank you all.